Oh, man, we're here again. I think it's episode 37 or something. I'm Ron Onesti here from Rock and Roll Heaven here in St. Charles, Illinois, right outside of Chicago at the Arcada Theater. Hanging and Banging, Artists on Lockdown, another great show tonight. I'm here with soon-to-be, will be on camera here, my two brothers, legendary drummers, and we've been having such a lot of fun. My first guest, or my first co-host rather, Vinny Appice from Dio, from Black Sabbath, from Last in Line. He's come to be my brother. He picks on me like a brother. So here he is. Let's bring Vinny to the stage. There he is. Oh, you've never looked better, Vin.
Pretty
Same
good, huh?
October show, Halloween.
Look at that. That's spooky.
You know what? It's either spooky or you look like one of the four on the Queen album.
Or the Beatles, you turn to the side. Beatles first album.
Yeah, right. You look good. And you look a little like Jason from freaking Halloween or whatever those movies are.
And then you can go, look, I'm fading out. That's it.
All right, right there. No, it was good. That's perfect.
I got an idea. My brain's pulsing.
That's perfect. You know, it's interesting what rock stars do to entertain themselves. I just think it's really cool.
Hey,
and what is your shirt all about today?
I would stay in a room with the band or whatever all along the years and go, we get paid for this? The stuff that went on is, that normal, regular people can't do.
Is that shirt? That doesn't look familiar. Do you guys regularly sell
but
that
it's
shirt?
A new one.
No
cool
wonder.
Shirt.
That's a very cool shirt.
It's all in yellow and real bright colors. You can't see it on here. It's called Last in Line, The Sickness. Andy came up with it.
Are you going to be selling the 2020s in 21?
We sold them. It went on sale in December as a limited run, and we sold them all.
Of course you will.
Yeah. So maybe, it's a really cool looking shirt.
You know what?
We could change the date.
It is. No, I love it. I noticed it right away. And I think it's a really cool thing that that a lot of these acts, I bet you they've got their merch from 2020, and it's probably going to sell better than the 21 stuff, just as a keepsake.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they always wanted to put dates on our shirts. I said, you know what? Then we finished that tour or whatever it is, and then we got shirts with old dates on them. So we never did that.
But see, you do a concert shirt with 2020, then the back, you got all these cities, and then canceled. I mean,
you put a mask and a paper mask and a hoodie. What is that? That plexiglass piece of shit they use. That shit too. So, but it's just not as nice as that shirt there, where just the middle of it is shiny, not the rest of the shirt.
Here, I want to be respectful to our guest, and I purchased this shirt online.
No, you didn't. You're full of shit.
I did.
You're full of shirt. No, it's only shiny in the middle. Oh my God!
No, it is. I know. I didn't powder up. What are we talking about?
Yeah, it's like a sticker.
It is.
But
now.
You look good.
You know what?
You look good in black. So
let's bring our big brother to the microphone, because I can see you're just about ready to really bust my onions tonight. So let's bring.
We only got one guest, so we got time to bust your onions.
I know, but I tell you what, this guy is like 5 guests with the career he's had and continues to have. So we're going to touch on that in a second. Let's bring from Vanilla Fudge, Rod Stewart, Jeff Beck, and so many other things. A man who has touched the careers of more people than I can even name right here. A legend, a hero, an icon, Mr. Carmine Appice.
Hey, and I'm colorful, see?
His hat.
I'm not black. Everybody wears hats every time, so I'm going to wear a hat.
I got a hat.
No, you wear a hat.
You should wear a hat, Vinny. Where's your hat?
I just want to show people that I really have hair once in a while. So
that makes one of us. Okay. All right. So here's the thing. I'm ready for you guys, because we have a very special guest. We have we all know who it is. Rickey Medlocke from, of course, Blackfoot, and of course Lynyrd Skynyrd. So you guys wearing these hats, I figured I would bring to the table my Ronnie Van Zant.
Hey,
this is my Skinner Ronnie Van Zant hat.
You looking good.
Look at that.
Wow.
Now, if
look
there's
good.
one thing,
that looks so good. I'm gonna make the screen bigger. Whoa, that looks great.
Is your screen bigger, or you just happen to see me?
The screen's bigger. You got the stars and stripes up there. Wow.
So hey, Ron, this kid's watching.
Let me just say that the fact that I'm wearing this hat is a testimonial to the fact that I should not be wearing hats.
Well, yeah.
So I got too many colors in my hair, so I'm wearing the hat to hide it. Huh?
It brings out. Listen, the red there brings out the bloodshot in your eyes. I love it. It looks good.
That's right. Yeah.
Hey, man, we're goofing around. We've got, just like you two gentlemen, we've got rock and roll royalty going to be on our show tonight. Can't say enough about this guy. You know him from Blackfoot. Of course, you know him from Leonard Skinner. But I tell you what, one of the most iconic, I'm going to talk to him about this, one of the most iconically photographed individuals in rock and roll. I mean, we'll talk about that a little bit. Let's bring him, Rickey Medlocke, Blackfoot, Leonard Skinner. There he is.
Yo!
Hey, look at the ring. Look at the rings.
What's happening, brothers?
What's happening?
Where's my ring? Where's my rings? Hold on.
Is that the turquoise?
There you go. Yeah, man.
Where's my ring?
There's mine. There's the camera. There you go.
Yeah. He's got a ring around his bathtub. That's
hey, guys. How are y'all? How you guys? Good to see you.
Yeah, man. Last time, where'd we see him? Arizona, right?
That's right.
We played a gig together.
We played a gig together. But I got a few surprises. Actually, I got a big surprise for Carmine.
Big one.
I mean, one that I guarantee you he won't remember.
Okay. You're probably right. I'm getting old.
Well, check this out, man. So as far back as we've been playing music, you know, our paths would intermingle, you know, and cross and stuff. Before this show's over with, I've got a real big, good one for you, Carmine.
Okay. I'm ready.
That you won't believe. You won't believe it.
Okay. I know. Look, I know we did a lot of gigs together with Cactus and Blackfoot. You know, we did a lot of stuff together back in those days.
Let's go back. I'm going to go back even further than that.
Oh, no.
Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Here it comes.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
You still got all that white hair under there, right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Look at that. Wow. That's what I was just saying, Ricky.
I'm just starting to grow mine out. I'm growing mine out. I'm going to be like my uncle.
I would have worn it down, but I was out on the boat today, and it's nasty, so I put a cap on.
Where do you live? Where do you live now?
I'm over in Fort Myers, Florida. I've been over here since the early 90s.
I'm in Florida, too.
You're right across the state from me, right?
Yeah, I am. I'm going to be up your neck of the woods doing an art signing with my art partner in Sarasota.
In crime.
Really?
I'll let you know when we do it.
Yeah, please do, man. I'd love to come up and see you.
Yeah, man. It's going to be cool.
That'd be cool.
Ricky, it's only $10 to get in, too.
Oh, that's a deal.
That's right. But for you, $10.
So yeah, we'll give you a break.
But that's what I was saying, Ricky. You know, you talked about the long flowing mane that you had, that rock and roll mane that you have. And I was in the introduction, I was saying, you've got, aside from the amazing talents and your career, but I got to say, you're one of the most photographable rock stars out there, because you look at all the pictures of you and they're just like this one. Where's that? Right here. Like this one here. I mean, you're just, it's all beautiful. The mane, it's like it's all one piece. It's amazing.
Listen, my photographs have been known to knock a buzzard off a shit wagon at 100 yards.
We don't get a lot of. I gotta be honest. We haven't had a lot of buzzard jokes on the show, so I appreciate that.
Hey, you know what? We got to do a show with Ted and him. Ricky
oh my gosh!
Ted.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, that would be awesome.
That'd be
we
funny.
had Ted on the show. We couldn't get a word in the whole time.
I know.
I know. That's Ted.
And I love Ted. He's like a brother.
God love him. I know.
Yeah.
No, Ted has got something against animals and punctuation. He doesn't know what a comma or period is, that guy.
Yeah.
Punctuation.
So you know what? I do want to talk a little bit about. I got some questions that I personally have for Rickey. That's why one of the great things about this show, I've been very fortunate to be a part of this, Rickey, because I get to meet some of my rock star heroes as well, just like yourself. And real quick, I do want to tell a quick little story about my first time actually meeting. I met Rickey before. I've had Skinner a couple times. We did an outdoor event at a couple of casinos, and we had Skinner. And I was part of the whole, okay, up against the bus, you get to stand on these little freaking steps that you guys put up for the meet and greets and all that kind of stuff. I was part of that and high-fived you, and you're like always very cordial, very nice. But I didn't get a chance to actually speak to you. Where I did at the Arcada, we had Blackfoot. And I just love this band. I mean, we'll talk about that a little bit, but Blackfoot is a great band, various incarnations over the years, but I'm telling you, a great show, great music. And so I had Blackfoot, but obviously, in the past few years, Rickey hasn't really been a member on stage outside of guest spots, right? So I'm walking through my dressing rooms, Rickey, and I'm like, I walked upstairs, and I'm like, man, oh man. Now a lot of people say the Arcada Theater is haunted, and I've had visions. And I went upstairs, and I told the lead singer, I said, swear to God, man, I'm losing my mind because I could have sworn Rickey was here. The ghost of Rickey Medlocke is here. Turns out he snuck in. He was there. He was sitting in the back row, sneakily, didn't tell me he was coming. The agent didn't tell me he was coming. He just showed up, and I, honest to God, thought I was seeing visions of Rickey Medlocke. And pull that picture up, Ben, would you? Visions of Rickey Medlocke at a Blackfoot show. So you never know when he's going to show up.
Well, he wasn't in Blackfoot at the time?
Well, here's the deal.
Here he is. There's that night. With my official Blackfoot shirt, may I point out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a real one.
And in your gay dressing room.
It's not. It's the guitar room. I know. I don't know why I made the guitar room fuchsia. We got to change.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, I got a snap on this pink leopard over here. Maybe I should put it in there.
I would love that.
Looks like your daughter's room.
No. Rickey, please.
No. Basically, what I've done in the last several years, that I've been busy enough with Leonard Skinner over the last 25 years since rejoining them in 95, 96. And, there's been a lot of times that, there's been so many people wanting like a Blackfoot reunion. And I always said, had the original drummer Jack, had he lived, I might have entertained the thoughts of going out and doing, a reunion tour. But I always felt like the music was good enough and legendary enough that it was a shame that somebody wasn't out there, playing, the music. And so what I ended up doing was I handpicked a bunch of musicians that were really into Southern rock and into the Blackfoot music. And I produced a record on them. I wrote songs with them, sang on it, played guitar on it. And I was going out and doing special guesting when they were playing, when they would go out and play dates. I would show up at certain shows and play a whole show with them. So it wasn't like that I just threw a band out there and go, okay, guys, go do this and, have at it and have fun. I was actually showing up and playing dates with them. Well, the date that they had at the Arcada, I was able to get in real quick, come to see the guys because the guys were first going out, and I was able to come and see the guys and get in. And I wanted to check out how they were doing, watch the show, see if it was really on point. So that's what it was all about. And, a lot of people look at that like, well, it's not really Blackfoot, but it's got my stamp on it. It's got my name on it. I own the name. I produce the records, and I guest star with them, and, a pretty good bit of time. So that's the way that all came about,
Well, I've had that band every year, and I'm telling you, what a great job you do with it. What an electric, exciting. They take the music and they give it a little bit of a fresh flair to it. It's a younger band. They're all over the place. The guitar playing is off the charts. And, I wish you great success with that project. Just promise me you'll text me and let me know so I'm not seeing the ghost of Rickey Medlocke.
No, I don't never let nobody know I'm coming, man.
I know.
I just show up,
I do.
Hey, so I got a question.
Wait, I got a question.
Hold on, Vin.
Go ahead. Hold on, Vin.
Respect your elders. Hey,
okay.
Did you? I'm sorry, Vin. Did you play with Leonard Skinner before Blackfoot?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, here's the way it all went. All right. We actually formed Blackfoot, the original band, in 1969. And this is so cool. We moved in 1969 to the East Village in New York. And we were playing shows in and around New York City, on Long Island, in New Jersey, the whole bit. I actually met you the first time, Carmine, kind of in passing on Long Island.
Probably at the Action House.
Do you remember my father's place?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, real briefly there, but I did. And I'll tell you later on where we really met. But we were playing in and around up there. But what happened was we ended up getting with a manager that I ended up just having a serious problem with, and I opted out, and I happened to get a hold of Ronnie Van Zant through Alan Collins. And Ronnie said to me, "Do you still play drums?" And I said, "Yeah," because I had been a drummer in a band called Fresh Garbage, named after the old Spirit song. Remember Spirit?
Yeah, of course.
So what happened was, he said, "Do you still play drums?" I said, "Yeah, I do. I bang around on them every once in a while." And he goes, "Well, we've lost Bob Burns, and we're getting ready to go into Muscle Shoals and cut our very first record. And we need a drummer." And I said,
"Oh my God."
And I said, "I'm the guy. I'm ready." A week later, I flew down to Jacksonville, dropped my bags off at my parents' house, and I was at rehearsal, and this is in 1971. I was in rehearsal with the band. 6 weeks later, we went to Muscle Shoals and started cutting what would later on become the Pronounced record.
Oh my God.
Okay. But it came out as Leonard Skinner's First and Last after the plane crash happened. The plane disaster happened in 77, and that record came out in 78.
Wow.
So it's really, really cool because I hung with the guys for quite a while, for about 2.5, almost 3 years. And then I really got to missing playing guitar and singing. And what the decision was for me was this. I have a respiratory illness. I only have one lung and a messed up kind of respiratory system. And, to play drums, man, you got to have the stamina. You know what I mean?
Nah, you don't. Come on.
Yeah. Well, wait a minute.
I don't have any lungs, and I'm still good. I have gills.
Hey, let me tell you.
I have gills, 2 gills.
Well, by the by the time we would hit Freebird, and go into that ending, I was running on borrowed time.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what I did was I went to Ronnie and I told Ronnie, that I think you guys need somebody better than me and to take you further. And, at the time, I don't think they ever thought about having 3 guitar players in the band.
Mm-hmm.
And I bowed out and went back to Blackfoot. And they went on to do what they did. We went on to do what we did.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way the whole thing happened.
I guess I played with you with Cactus when you went back.
Well, check this out. No. Listen.
No? Okay.
This is great. Put up the picture. It's an old picture. Put it up if you can find it. There it is. All right. Carmine, I officially met you when we opened for Wishbone Ash and Cactus in Jacksonville, Florida at the Jacksonville Baseball Park in 1971.
Right.
Wow.
I stood backstage and talked to you for about 10, 15 minutes.
Wow, and that's why you look familiar in that first picture. Wow.
You were so nice to me, man, and gracious. And I was just thrilled. I was like, oh my God, here's the guy, man, that I've loved in Vanilla Fudge, and and it was a great band. I was like, God, I'm standing there talking to this guy. It was a thrill, man. But that's the first time we met, was at that night right there.
I thought it was Blackfoot. Because we did do gigs with you with Blackfoot with Cactus.
Later on. Later on.
Yeah. That's what I remember. Wow. That's what I remember.
Yeah, man.
That's back in the day, man. That is serious.
You see, Vinny, I got some history, Vinny. You see?
Look at it. That looks like a school auditorium.
Well, here's what it was, man. It was really weird. It was a tractor trailer.
Oh no, one of those
that folded down in the front and on the sides, right?
Right, I remember them.
Yeah, we went on. Wishbone Ash went on, and then the Almighty Cactus.
Yeah, the Almighty Cactus.
Yeah, it was great, man. It was great.
Wow.
So we talk about back in the day, and you know what? Here's a little fun fact. I mean, I happen to be a fan of Shorty Medlocke. And a lot of people know about Shorty, but a lot of people don't. And it's an interesting thing about your grandfather because of the contributions that he made in blues and he made in bluegrass, that whole feel. But also the contribution that your grandpa made with Blackfoot and Skinner. Skinner dedicated an album, the Nothing Fancy album, to him, right?
Yeah.
Was it 75?
Check this out. I was just talking to this manager guy, a friend of mine, that's working on trying to put this on like Netflix and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he was telling me that he met your grandfather.
Really?
I never heard of Shorty.
That's a big deal, really. And I told me about his grandfather.
Whoa, I didn't know. I'm going to mention it. So, wow, that's incredible that you mentioned it.
Here's what's really interesting is my grandparents, who was my mother's, father and mother. My grandparents adopted me when I was 3 months old, and raised me. They were my parents. They were my mom and dad. Even though they were my grandparents, they were my mom and dad. Well, he was an old Delta blues.
Mm-hmm.
Delta blues country bluegrass player, and he was in and out of Nashville a lot and played with a lot of the old Nashville stars back then.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a road guy, and so when he would come home to Jacksonville, he had his own band and would play around Jacksonville. Plus, there was a show called the Toby Dowdy Show. And it was a show that originated in Jacksonville at a TV station called WMBR, which is WJXT now. And so what happened was, at a very, very early age, when I was 3 years old, I would sit and plunk around on my dad's banjo. And even though my hands were small at the time, he could see all indications that I, had something in me that really wanted to, pick up and learn, music. So what he did was he bought me a miniature 5-string banjo, which I still have.
Wow.
He showed me how to play it. We learned a couple of songs together. Now here's a grandfather and his grandson playing these songs together. Well, he went to the guy, Toby Dowdy, he went to him and said, look, I've taught my grandson, Ricky, to play the 5-string banjo. He's got a miniature one. I would like to bring him on the show one time and play one song with him, to see how people, might like it or not like it, Well, Toby agreed. He goes, that sounds like a good idea. So they brought me on. I came on that show when I was 3 years old, and I was on it for 5 years. Yeah. And what was so cool, what was so really cool is that back then he would have, coming through Jacksonville and stuff, he'd have people that would special guest star, like country music people that would guest star on the show. Well, my biggest thrill was I didn't really care about all these country music stars because they weren't as important to me as Roy Rogers and Trigger, right?
Oh.
He had Roy Rogers and Trigger on the show.
Wow.
I got to sit on Trigger. He had the original Lassie on the show, right?
Amazing.
But the best one of all, I was huge into the Lone Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
He had Clayton Moore on the show with Silver.
Oh, come on.
And I got to sit on Silver. And at the very end of it, man, he gave me one of his silver bullets.
Nice.
You still got it?
It's around somewhere in all my junk.
Hey, Ricky. Hey, Ricky.
Next
week we have Trigger and Lassie on the show.
You're digging them up for one more show, right?
Yeah.
Digging them up.
Well, I'll tell you what, man.
Amen.
If you guys, get a chance to look at it, to Google Shorty. I love all that old, like that Lester Flat, Earl Scruggs kind of thing. And it's amazing because it sounds like, right? He's got that whole feel, but it's amazing that type of an act, that type of influence. Did he write Train?
Yes, he was the writer of Train.
That's your biggest hit. At least you're one of your biggest hits.
One of the biggest. Yeah, it was written in 1938.
Wow.
And it was an old Delta blues song, and we were getting ready to do the Strikes record in '78. And what happened was we needed one more song for the record, and our manager Al Nally, and I think Carmine, you know Al because
I know Al. Yeah, Al's from the club he had, the Ann Arbor, that club he had there.
Yeah. Well, as a matter of fact, me and Al are still partners.
Oh, great. How's he doing?
He's doing great.
Tell him I said hello.
I sure will.
Yeah, because I did my drum off. I did my drum off over there.
Yeah, I know.
Contest. We sold out. Yeah.
That's right, man. So we needed one more song for the record. And I sat down with a guitar, and it just came to me in my head. It said, I told him, I said, my old man had a song that he wrote way back in the late 30s called Train. And I think that if we did it, if we rocked it, it might be, a song that would be a contender. So I started messing around on the guitar with it. And we came up with the riff. and did the song in about 15 minutes. And we recorded it, and there it is. And I brought the old man in to do the harmonica on it.
Oh, nice.
The beginning and all that stuff. And there it is today. It turned out like that,
It's one of my absolute favorite songs, Blackfoot songs. It's just so, and I just love the family history of it all, man. Just really, really cool. I mean, he actually played. Did he ever play on stage with you with that?
Oh, I just got some pictures. If you go on Instagram, if you go on Instagram, somebody just gave me 7 pictures of my old man and me on stage at the Fox Theater.
Oh, nice.
What was that?
I think you guys probably know the photographer Rick Diamond.
Oh, sure.
Do you know Rick Diamond? Well, Rick took these photos and has sent me quite a few photos recently, but he was looking for these and never could find them. And all of a sudden, I get on Instagram night before last, and these photos popped up. And I'm like, I've been looking for these photos forever.
Oh, he's done a lot of Native American photography.
And, and so, thank you, natives, that's right. And so I've now got photos. If you go on Instagram, on the official Rickey Medlocke fan page, you'll see my old man and me. You'll see us there on stage playing together.
That's so cool, man.
Yeah, man.
So cool. So let me ask you a question. I mean, obviously, you're in Skinner for 71, 72. You took a hiatus. You talked about that a little bit earlier. You got back in 1996, but you weren't officially in the band, obviously, in 77. There's probably all kinds of things going on inside your head. You've probably been asked this question, I don't know, million and a half times. But, obviously there's a chance you could have been with them, but you weren't. Did you know the guys? I mean, you obviously knew the guys at the time. I got 50 questions about that. So what can you tell me about the whole thing, how it not affected you, because that's obvious, but where you were when you heard about it and what you know about the plane crash?
Well, understand that Ronnie really loved my old man and wrote Curtis Lowe with my old man as one of the main inspirations for the song. And also, like you just said a while ago, dedicated Nothing Fancy, the record Nothing Fancy, and the song Made in the Shade to my old man. Well, I happened to be, still with Blackfoot, and they were getting ready to go on the, Street Survivors tour. The Street Survivors record had just come out, and Ronnie was they had a studio in Jacksonville, and Ronnie, I called him, and Ronnie said, "Won't you bring your old man by? I want to see your dad." And I said, "Okay, I will." So I put my old man in the car and we drove over to Riverside and we got out at their studio and we go inside and Ronnie drove up and in his little Mercedes, man, he got out and he hugged my dad and he said, "Shorty, God, I can't believe I'm getting to see you. It's so good to see you. Y'all come on inside. I want you to listen to something." Well, we go inside the studio and go in the control room and Ronnie tells Kevin Elson, put up that song that we've been listening to off the new record. I want Ricky and Shorty to hear it. Well, ironically, it was the song That Smell.
Ooh.
And we're listening to it, and I'm listening to it. And great groove. I mean, the thing sounded great. Tom Dowd, man, what can you say,
Yeah.
So I'm listening to it, and the song finishes. And I remember my old man he just had kind of the weirdest look on his face, Mm-hmm. And I remember my daddy said to Ronnie, he goes, "Ronnie, what are you talking about in that song? What are you really talking about in there, Ronnie said, "Shorty, it's just a song. Don't worry about it, man." Well, as we're leaving, Ronnie says to me, he goes, "Ricky, we got our own plane now. Why don't you come out and ride with us for about a week or so and go to the gigs and hang out with us, maybe jam, or whatever, get on stage and jam with us or whatever you want to do, man. I said, well, that sounds like a good idea. So at that point, we didn't have any gigs, Blackfoot, yet. The day before, they took off to start their tour, started in Florida, then they went up to Greenville, and then you know what happened after that. So the day before Blackfoot, 2 weeks worth of shows came through. And I couldn't go. I called Ryan. I said, I can't make it, man. 2 weeks worth of shows come in, and I got to hang. And Ronnie says, all right, man, well, look here. Take care. We'll see you again. And I went, okay, man. And I hung up the phone. Well, we went on the road, Blackfoot did, and we played right down the road from them guys in Columbia, South Carolina, where the night before they had just played Greenville. They took off from Greenville. We came into Columbia, played that night. Well, I'm on stage, and some, I don't know, jerkwad come up over on the side of the stage and kept yelling to me, hey, your buddies are, they've had a plane crash. They've had a plane crash. And I was like, who is this guy, man? So when the show was over, one of the crew guys said to me, he said, Rickey, it's true. Earlier this afternoon, late this afternoon, early evening, Skinner had their plane went down in Mississippi.
Wow.
Well, my mom and dad, they were already listening to the news in Jacksonville.
Wow.
And I rushed back to the hotel, and I got on the phone, and my parents' phone didn't even ring, not even one time, really. My old man picked it up, and I said, Pop, just tell me it ain't true. He goes, it's true. He goes, their plane fell, and now they've confirmed it that Ronnie died. Mm. And I was I can't even tell you the feeling that I had at that time.
Wow.
I mean, it was just, well, let's fast forward. I had all kind of weirdness go through me at the time because I always felt maybe if I'd have been there, maybe I could have said something, to Ronnie and maybe have changed something. Maybe, convinced him not to get on it or whatever. But Ronnie was his own man. When Ronnie said, I'm doing something, he did it. That was it.
Dude, you got a plane. You got to be on it. We were on the same make of a plane that they went down in when I was with Rod Stewart on the American tour.
Yeah.
We had the same exact plane.
Oh.
When it went down, we didn't take the plane that night. We said, we want you to check out every inch of this plane to make sure it's cool. Yeah. Because it scared the shit out of us.
Mm-hmm. So fast forward to 1996, and I'm on the bus with Gary and his wife Dale, who's is one of our backing vocalists.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the bus and I'm sitting next to Gary, real close to him, and all of a sudden he reaches over and he put his hand on my right arm, and I looked over at him. I said, "Yeah, bro." He goes, "Where were you?" And I went, "Where was I? What do you mean, where was I?" He goes, "You know what I'm talking about on that day. Where were you?" And I went, "Gary, I was right down the road from you guys in Columbia, South Carolina when you took off from Greenville. That's how close fate was, And wow. I said to Gary at the time, I said, "Gary, I always felt maybe if I had been there, maybe I could have said something or done something, to maybe change the course that it went in." And he looked at me and he goes, "You know what, Rickey?" He goes, "It wasn't meant for you to be there then. It's meant for you to be here now."
What else can you say?
Amen. Amen.
Yeah. So 25, 25 years ago, man.
That's right. That's right. You're with the band 25 years already, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
And what is it? Gary's the only guy?
Well, it's Gary. Well, Artie's not with us. Gary is the last remaining original founder of the band. See, and here's the funny thing. The funny thing is so many people when the band got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Artemis even said that Rickey deserved to go in with the band with the rest of us because I was there, in the very beginning. And, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame deemed it that I wasn't, even though I'd been there for 3 years and then back with the band for, since 96, that I didn't deserve to go in. So
that's a whole other show.
They don't know what they're doing.
Hey, middle finger in the air, motherfuckers. You know what I mean?
That's right, bro.
Fuck those
guys.
I'm
still waiting for Vanilla Fudge to get in the fucking
Yes,
right?
Yes. There you go.
How does that not happen?
I don't know.
Because they're a bunch of assholes. Sorry.
Hey.
Here.
We'll never get in any of us.
I know. Forget it now.
I don't give a shit.
You were that close, Vinny. You were that close.
I don't care.
I know.
I don't care.
Hey, you know what? You got the song. We talk anthems all the time. And actually, I want to talk to Carmine, Vinny about this as well. But, there's anthems and then there's anthems, the Freebird anthem. But, you see your solo, it's just astounding. And to know about your health situation, even now, I don't care how many years you've been doing it. I mean, how many guitarists can actually do what you do on stage? And I've witnessed it. So many other people, of course. But I've witnessed it from a backstage standpoint and the physicality with this song. But my question is, do you remember, that song affects so many people. I mean, as soon as you start it, or as soon as the piano, all this kind of stuff happens, then the emotion. Do you remember a moment, your favorite response to that song? Was it in a room of 1,000 or some small private event? Or
Ron, you can't. In our position, you can't really answer that because there's probably so many times the response has been amazing.
Well, of course.
You can't pin it down to once. This is like you go into Baskin Robbins and you go, "What's your absolute one favorite flavor?" And I can sit there and name
fudge.
Vanilla fudge. But I could name off 3 or 4 or 5, 6 different flavors,
Wait a second. Stop everything. Because of 37 weeks, I got to say, that was the best one, Vinny. That was the best one.
That was a good one.
But I lied. It's not my favorite.
Stop right there. Save that for TV.
Well, you know what? I will tell you this. I think the one thing that sticks out in my mind as far as like playing Freebird, I think that right when I got back with the band in 96, the very first night that we played together, which was in West Palm Beach at Coral Sky Amphitheater, I remember right before we went on, I was like, man, I can't believe I am back with the band and getting ready to walk out for my very first gig.
And that's something different, yeah.
And I remember right now, man, going into Freebird, and I said, "Oh God, Alan Collins, if you're there, please be with me during this, man." And you know what? I every night, trust me, every night that I play it, I think about Alan every night. I mean, I think about that I was able. I tell you something, guys. I feel very, very blessed and fortunate that I have been able to stand next to, whether being in the band with them or not, stand next to some of the most incredible musicians in my life. and be friends. Like right now, I'm with two iconic drummers in the world, and we're kind of and we're friends, and we know each other, what each other's gone through pretty well much in achieving what we've done. And I really feel blessed and fortunate that I've been able to know these people and stand on stage and play with some of the world's finest musicians. And
amen.
And I get asked about, Ronnie and Alan and those guys all the time.
Sure.
And you know what, man? I got those memories in my database in my head. And I love thinking about it every once in a while and reliving certain things, but I really feel that way. You know what I mean? I really do.
I know what you feel. What you feel like. I mean, I just lost Tim Bogert.
I know, man.
Tim Bogert was like my brother.
I was going to say something to you about that, man, and I was very sorry to hear that. Okay.
Hey, do you guys know that Chick Corea just passed away?
I heard that too. Yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
He sure
no
did.
Kidding.
Recent, right?
Oh man,
today.
I used to know him too. He was what a nice guy.
And Mary Wilson, the Supremes.
Mary Wilson.
Mary Wilson.
Yeah, right.
It's tough, man. That's why we just got we got to appreciate what we got, appreciate every day. And when I tell you what, when these doors open again, it's all going to be about just the classic heroes of rock and roll.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we got to.
You don't want to get some of these new Hall of Famers in there, do you?
You know what? It's you guys are officially. Here's the thing. You guys are officially. I am starting it today. The Arcada Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and you three inductees.
There you go.
A lot better. Listen,
I got to since
you should do a Hall of Fame.
You should do. You should do.
You should do.
Getting off the caught it down a part of it, which is very sympathetic and good. When you're talking about Freebird, I had my experiences with Freebird also.
Really?
My experiences were, when you go into the strip bar, and you get a table dance, and they go, "What song you want?" I go, "I want Freebird."
Because it's 27 minutes long. That's why.
Carmine.
Yes, I know what your deal is. I know what your deal. Wait a minute, Carmine. I know what your deal is. You want Freebird for the table dance, the slow part.
That's right.
But wait a minute. You get the biggest kick out of trying to watch her dance to the fast part.
I'd like to see his eyeballs move that quick.
Oh man, that's unbelievable! Amazing.
Hey, tell me about again, we're festering in the history of it all, which is just so freaking cool for me and for our fans, everybody out there. Didn't you? I thought I heard this, and I could be wrong. Didn't you do a song or something like "One More Street Survivor" or "The Last Street Survivors" or something like that?
Yeah. Gary, Johnny, and I formed a little production team called Three Southern Gents, and we produced a song that we had written a long time, quite a few years ago, called "Last of the Street Survivors." Well, we put together this tour that we were on until it got cut, by the virus. We were on the tour, Last of the Street Survivors tour, and we put the song on the as an introduction type thing on the live DVD that we did in Jacksonville. We did a live show in Jacksonville at Jaguar Stadium. We had 55,000 people in our hometown. Wow. And you know what, man? I enjoyed doing that with Gary and Johnny. I've been into producing for a little while now. I love doing it. It's a creativeness, so all of us love to create, so why not,
Yeah.
But we did a song called "Last of the Street Survivors," and it came out really good, man. I was really happy with it. Mm-hmm.
What do you recall about the whole Muscle Shoals thing? I mean, that's talk about unsung heroes, right? Swampers and all that stuff.
Oh man, listen. You got to realize that we were so green. at recording when we went there. I mean, and we're going into a place where the Rolling Stones had been there and cut Brown Sugar, and Bob Seger had been there, and, you know, Rod Stewart was coming there to do Atlantic Crossing, and all these just, you know, Aretha Franklin, and just all these incredible, incredible artists was coming there. And we were just floored that we were going to be able to go there and cut a record. This is so cool, man. I was witness, and this is kind of a two-part story here, but, and I'm going to try to segue it right. Mm-hmm. Almost 13 years ago, I met, and my most better half is one of the backing vocalists for Kid Rock.
How cool is that?
And
I
we
love Kid Rock.
And we met when Kid Rock and Leonard Skinner did 2 back-to-back tours for 2 summers in 2008 and 2009. Well, I met my way better half, and Carmine, you've met her before, and you met her back when you came into the joint with Waddy Wattell's place in LA. You went down to the joint a couple of times.
Oh, I remember that place.
And you got up and you jammed. She was the gal playing the guitar up there with Waddy.
Oh my God.
That's Stacy Michelle.
Where's she now?
She and I've been together for 13 years.
And where's she right now?
Well, I'm at our home down here, but she's at our lake house up in right below Memphis, because she's from Memphis, and she's up there taking care of her parents right now. But this is, I got to tell you, it's kind of a weird deal, but I floored her because I got to telling about Muscle Shoals, and she told me that one of her favorite groups, singing groups, okay, and I went, "You got to be kidding me, really?" And she goes, "Yeah, the Staple Singers, right?"
Come on.
Yeah.
I was sitting in the control room the day the Staple Singers cut "I'll Take You There."
Come on,
baby.
And when David Hood came up with that famous bass part at the very end, there's a run in there. Yes, right. Well,
and that was a BBA, Beck Bogan the Peace, major song.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Really? Did Pop Staples ever see you guys perform it?
Here's the cool part. So we did
one called Missing, Spell the Missing Word, the Staple Singers. We did that with BBA live. It's coming out on a live album.
Wow.
Didn't you do a gig with the Staple Singers, with the Fudge or Cactus a long time ago?
I think we did it with the Fudge.
Yeah. I remember. I was there. Yeah.
So there you go. I related the story to her about seeing the Staple Singers do "I'll Take You There," and it was on. There you go.
Yeah, man.
I'll tell you what, you thought the history of those, and this has got to be a great show for us two guys to do, because you've got the Wrecking Crew, the Funk Brothers, the Swampers. You got these legendary. I mean, it's great when all these bands, they've got 10 hits, 12 hits, 20 hits. These guys sang on
200 of hits.
And it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
When I did, I've only done 2 Skinner shows, and but again, just emotional. When Ronnie's hat goes on the microphone stand, and you guys,
is that his hat? Is that his real hat?
Yeah.
And they bring it up, and it goes in the audience.
Wow,
Hold that thought for 15 seconds. I want to show you something.
I'm gonna have to do my hat like this.
I know. Let's start out the show with
we'll do Ron's hat.
You got that from Ronnie? Did you get that from Ronnie?
Yeah. Well, I'm the Ronnie.
I know, but where did you get the hat?
Okay, you ready?
I wore this at my Leonard Skinner show.
Oh, you did? Okay, yeah.
Okay, are you ready?
Yeah,
I'm ready. Come on. Come on, really? What's the story?
He gave it to me.
Wow.
He gave it to me probably, let's see. It would have been December. It would have been around December of 1976.
Wow.
It's got his name right here in it.
Just a few months before, man.
Oh, yeah. There it is.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, man.
Rock history.
It really is, man.
Yeah, man.
But you can't get in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Nah.
All you have is the hat.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and your drummer. Your drummer is a good friend of mine, Michael.
Michael Cardellone.
Yeah, I know him for a long time.
Yeah, man.
He's a good boy.
What do you think it's going to be? What do you think it's going to be like, Ricky, when we come back? Well, first of all, real quick here. Now there was announcements. I mean, Skinner coming back, retiring. What's the plan?
No, we're coming back. We still look. It cut us. This whole thing cut us in half. We still had about 2 more years of dates to go, and we owe. I mean, the shows were selling out.
Oh yeah.
And we still got to go. We still got a lot of serious making up. But I heard it's rumored that we're going to start back somewhere in June. Slowly doing dates. That's what I hear.
Doing the outdoor stuff.
Yeah, and you know what, guys? I think that honestly, I think we're going to be, hopefully. I mean, I got to have faith because I have a lot of faith and a lot of spiritualness in me that I have to believe. As big as the music industry is that contributes to the world's economy, it's gonna have to be back. It's got to come about. You can't take $288 billion of the world's economy and flush it down the damn toilet. It doesn't.
They've tried.
It's been tried, but let me tell you, my grandfather used to tell me in the worst of times, in the absolute worst of times, he made more money when the country was in the tubes. And he goes, that's when we really flourished as a band or musicians. I believe, honestly, the three of us and the four of us, I think we're gonna be okay, man. I mean, I really do. It's gonna take a while, but I think we'll be okay. We're gonna come back. It'll be all right.
Well, the good thing, it's done some good for us. Number one, we have this show going, which we never would have done.
Yeah.
I moved to Florida. Vinny helped me set up the studio that I have here.
Yep.
I've been working in here steadily, doing all kinds of stuff that I never would have done, because I wouldn't have been here. I would have been out on the road. And,
there you go.
So it did change a lot of things for us, but not for a lot of us. It didn't change a lot of things for bad.
Right.
For some of us, it was bad. Guys that depended on playing that had no royalties and all that stuff. But for a bunch of us, it's opened up a lot of other doors.
I gotta, you know what, man? I really feel also now, given this, I've been at my house right by myself because she's up there taking care of her parents. And I had to stay here because of the pre-existing conditions, and I couldn't be around anybody,
Yeah.
And, I tell you right now, man, when you're in your home by yourself, month after month after month, it really gives you an appreciation for exactly what we had, you know, the things that we had that maybe we took for granted, you know, and it really brought me, you know, I've always tried to be a humble guy and humble myself to people and all that stuff, man. But it really even humbled me even further, you know, to think about where we were at right then. And my gal will tell you, she'll tell you, I've gone through all these different changes and emotional stuff. You know, I've gotten, I've gotten so angry at times. And then, you know, it's so weird, but I got to tell you, man, I was so happy that I had my boat and was able to go out and go fishing, you know, any day I wanted to go. And that brought me back to reality real well. And Stacy brought me back to reality.
That's great.
You know, hey, thank God for FaceTime.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? And I kind of also got an appreciation for, probably not exact, but a little bit of what our American soldiers, our guys and gals go through when they're stationed wherever around the world, away from their families for a year and a half at a time. You know?
So, you know what I want to do? I just want to do a little toast. I want to toast to Billy Powell. I want to toast to Ronnie Van Zant, Stephen Cassie Gaines, Shorty Medlocke deserves to be part of the toast. And to you, Ricky, God bless you.
Thank you, man.
Thank you for joining us tonight, man. It was a real special night for us.
Hey, and you know the other good thing for me in the show is, besides I get to see my brother every week. I haven't been to LA in a year. You know, I haven't seen my kids. I haven't seen anybody in LA in a year except for this kind of thing. But I'm getting to connect with my old friends like you and everybody we're having on the show. You know, I'm connecting with all my old friends. It's amazing. You know.
Well, guys, you know what? Let's don't be strangers, man.
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna get your number from Rick.
Yeah, please do. You and Vinny. Yeah. You and Vinny, grab my number, man. And you know what? Dude. Call me anytime. I love.
Yeah, man.
I love hearing from my friends and stuff. You know.
I want to ask you one last thing. Where is your accent from? Is that from Jacksonville? Is that Jacksonville?
Well, you know what? I know I got a strange one. You know, it's probably part Jacksonville, probably part Midwestern, and probably part Native American. Let's put it that way.
Okay, yeah, because I remember when you were Al Nally in Blackfoot, you were guys out of Detroit area, if I remember right.
Oh yeah, you know what, dude? I wasn't the biggest fan of living in Ann Arbor.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
It was too cold. It was too damn cold, too much damn snow, too much damn ice, and gray, gloomy bullshit. How's that?
Good.
Well, as I sit here in Chicago,
that's where Ron is.
The snow.
I live in Florida now, right?
Being an old Florida boy, I wanted to come home.
Yeah, I live in Florida now. I do radio calls every Thursday. I call this a bunch of radios. I talked to my buddy in Minneapolis.
Yeah,
he said, "Dude, we have right now it's 27 below zero without a wind chill. Tomorrow it's 26 below zero without a wind chill. And all week it's like 28, 29. And then I said, you know, I call this guy in Alaska. It's warmer in Alaska than there.
Yeah,
so I called the guy in Alaska. I said, what's the temperature there? He goes, it's 5 degrees. I said, oh my God, it's so much colder, like by 30 degrees in Minneapolis area.
That's brutal.
Oh, man.
That's freaking brutal.
And he said to me, what's the temperature there in Florida? I think it's 83 here today.
Stop it.
That's what the wind. That's what the wind chill.
We walk out of the house, it's like getting slapped in the face. I swear to God, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Listen, we want everybody out there to make sure you like us, share us, check us out every Thursday night. Artists on Lockdown, Hangin' and Bangin'. Want to thank Steve Love, our producer, the guy who put this together. Obviously, Benjamin Wheeler. And I want to thank my good friend Mark Hyman for making this happen too. A good buddy of all of ours.
Mark, hey, dude. Yeah, he's our agent there.
Yeah, man.
And also next week we got Derek St. Holmes. You know Derek, right?
Yeah, man.
And we got Jeff Tate next week. And maybe another surprise.
And by the way, Carmine.
Yeah.
I saw Beck Bogert Appice in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Was that the one?
He probably sat in the front row and didn't tell anybody.
Was that the one with the James gang?
It sure was.
And then everybody walked out with the James gang because they wanted to close the show. And we said, we're supposed to headline. Okay, we'll go on first. So we went on first.
Boy,
After we went off, they all left.
Oh, you guys killed it, man. Killed it.
Yeah, but you saw Beck Bogart and Appice.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. I told the story before when I was with Rod Stewart. He said, "How do you say your name? Everybody says it different. You're gonna play in front of 20,000 people a night. Your drum solo. I want to get the right name." So I said, "Well, most people call me Appice. Everybody, I say they go Appice. I know it's Appice. I correct them." So I got tired of it. So from then on, I changed to Appice. And every night in front of 20,000 people, come on, Appice on drums. It was great. Ludwig did a nice ad. And then Vinny comes out with Sabbath and screws it all up. Vinny Appice.
Yep.
That's cool.
Then I played with Ozzy after he did, and Ozzy introduced me as Vinny Appice. And I had to tell Ozzy the next day, Carmine's Appice, I'm Appice. So he was all nervous that I introduced me. And he got it. He said, Vinny Appice on the drums.
I deal with this, Ricky, I deal with this every week. It's so difficult. And I wish I could just,
Yeah, but you love it. You do.
I do. I love it. I say it all the time. It's my honor to be amongst these legends and icons. And thank you so much for joining us tonight, Ricky.
Hey, honey, happy Valentine's Day, Ron.
Yeah, happy Valentine's Day. Leslie.
Happy Valentine's Day. But wait a second, real quick, before we go, happy birthday, Rickey Medlocke, February 17th.
Thank you.
Happy birthday,
happy birthday.
Yeah, man.
21 yet? Are you 21 yet?
29.
Hey, all right. Make me.
Celsius.
See you, bro.
Bye.